Chapter 3 was all about dispositions. Many of us already have ideas about the temperament, nature, and habits a teacher leader should possess. In this chapter, the authors take the reader through a series of exercises that help the teacher consider who they want to be as teacher leaders. This is done through self-assessment and reflection. These are the specific questions addressed in this chapter. What dispositions do others expect from you and other teacher leaders? What have you accomplished so far as a teacher leader? What is your vision for teacher leadership? What are your goals for teacher leadership in the next 1, 5, and 10 years? What image or metaphor would you choose for yourself as a teacher leader? What obstacles do you need to overcome to be a strong teacher leader? How can you overcome obstacles to teacher leadership? All teachers communicate a set of expectations that a particular set of dispositions that we look for in our classroom. But when in leadership positions or when considering them, we are not explicitly told what is expected. Reflecting on what we expect of ourselves or what others expect from us in leadership positions can help us develop the needed dispositions to be successful. On this slide is a chart from Chapter 3 of some agreed upon dispositions teachers say are needed for leadership. Part of considering and developing your dispositions is to determine what teacher leadership includes. Teacher leadership is often demonstrated in 3 areas: through teaching and learning, by influencing school-wide policies and programs, or through communications and community relations. This slide contains some examples that the authors suggest teacher leaders, how teachers lead inside and outside of school pertaining to these areas. For a full list when considering ways you might be or could be a teacher leader, see page 39, table 3.2. When determining ways to be a teacher leader and developing dispositions for such, one must create a vision to help them determine their future. Teachers must reflect on one's sense of self, personal ambitions, and goals, all while working to develop a professional identity. Once you have created your vision, you can start to set goals for your future. Work on setting both short-term and long-term goals that are concrete, realistic, and achievable. Start by creating a timeline for the direction of your life over the next 5 to 10 years. This is a timeline I created to start helping me think about my goals for teacher leadership. Through the self-assessment and reflection process, teachers should consider creating images or metaphors that represent themselves as teacher leaders. This helps to reveal certain dispositions needed. Here are some examples of what other teachers have developed. While creating metaphors, images, and visions, teachers tend to run across the challenges of teacher leadership. Through discussions with other teachers, the authors have compiled a list of obstacles to teacher leadership and the possible ways those obstacles can be overcome. The provided table contains just some of the possibilities to overcome the given obstacles. For a full list, see Table 3.3 on page 46. The obstacles that teacher leaders face tend to be common across the board. Other teacher leaders have offered advice to help overcome those typical obstacles. Their advice is the following. When choosing a leadership role, it is important to consider burnout. Think about choosing a role that will not seem like work, and one in which you will be able to balance your personal and professional life. Teacher leaders also tend to get resentment of success and conformity from their peers, and causes them to be resistant to working with teacher leaders. Overcome this obstacle by providing resources, finding common ground, and providing positive feedback. The final common obstacle is school or district based professional development that does not reflect the concerns of teachers. To combat this issue, seek out your own professional development through attending conferences and other professional development opportunities.